is allegedly threatening witnesses connected to DE's freak-off lawsuit in a leaked video. And now Katt Williams is out there naming him, placing him squarely in the center of this whole mess. Yes, H to the ISO beat, to the is no longer untouchable. But this isn't just some unfounded internet rumor. We're talking lawsuits involving federal heat witnesses, intimidation allegations, and some very sinister charges that led people to wonder, is Jay-Z really Denny's cleaner, handler, fixer, the one who intervenes to keep people quiet when things get out of control? This video clip changes everything because if what Katt is saying is accurate, and if Jay actually did what this clip suggests, he might be more dangerous behind the scenes than he will dissect the precise leak video that Katt Williams released, which revealed the links between Jay and Diddy's darkest secrets lawsuits. These lawsuits name Jay-Z in cases involving minors, masked men, and drugged victims, as well as the mind games he allegedly plays behind the scenes to control narratives. Why do people believe that he's the one planning Diddy's downfall to save his own skin? Own name, with even 50C and Jaguar Wright adding their own mysterious receipts. Before the video concludes, you'll understand why some people now believe Jay-Z is the real hip-hop puppet master and why this panic may have just begun. If this clip actually depicts him pressuring witnesses to remain silent, then Diddy may not be the only person entering federal court in handcuffs. Let's begin by discussing what shocked everyone. A leaked video clip that comedian Katt Williams mentioned in a recent podcast tape purports to show Jay-Z conducting a private conversation with two unnamed men while standing outside of what appears to be a Hampton rental house. The audio is reportedly grainy, but those who claim to have seen the video claimed that a voice that many believe sounds a lot like Jay can be heard saying some frightening things. He is allegedly warning the two men about someone talking too much, saying things like, "Don't talk," and anyone looking for attention is asking for help with word in the streets. One of the men is said to sound nervous and attempts to clarify that a particular woman has already spoken to federal authorities, at which point the Jay-sounding voice is said to interrupt with a chilly response, telling them to resolve the matter before it goes to trial. He even allegedly brings up the Cassie case, claiming that it was Diddy's mess and hinting that they won't be caught. That being said, nothing has been officially confirmed yet, but the streets are humming, and if what has been circulating is true, this could be the quiet before a major storm. However, since the clip hasn't been featured on mainstream news and hasn't been made public by any major media, we are unable to verify its authenticity at this time. When a witness named Manzaro came forward with claims that he was drugged, assaulted, and paraded half-naked in front of Jay-Z and Beyoncé at Diddy's son's birthday party, you know who else is mentioned in Monzo's lawsuit? The timing is crazy, and a lot of the things that have come out over the past couple of years are turning out to be true. However, just before Katt teased that video, Carter's lawyer, Alex Spiro, attempted to quickly shut it down by claiming that Jay wasn't even in the state. But Manzaro's legal team claims they have cell tower data and visuals that place him on the scene. Beyoncé is aware that Carter retreated in the room and that he wants him to see what we do to snitches. This is part of his punishment, and it's not just conjecture, you guys. Katt has been warning us about this for years. He has been discussing the darkest side of the industry for more than 10 years, and people used to make fun of him for it by claiming he was high. However, after this video was released, people began referring to him as a prophet. If Katt's teasing is real and it fits that timeline, then it's not just conspiracy anymore. It's witness intimidation, which is a federal felony. In that widely shared interview with Shannon Sharpe earlier this year, Katt Williams allegedly claimed that one of the biggest names in the industry is pulling the strings. Word on the street is that Katt has been exposing the inner workings of the hip-hop elite, and he isn't holding back. He feels that you don't just get to the top without shielding some influential people. As Katt explained, it appears that Jay has a habit of putting people under the bus when it suits him. People are working behind the scenes, and now, in a recent live stream, he has the streets talking again. This time, he is accused of calling out Jay as someone who is actively involved in the so-called fixer culture, rather than just as a passive observer, are claiming that it's beginning to appear very well planned. Fans took to social media to connect the dots, pointing out that Jay-Z always seems to come out clean when the industry turns on another black man. You know who was standing right next to Jay-Z backstage? Jay always knocks a black man down with a handshake and a smile. Wright echoed this, claiming that she feels Jay-Z betrayed Day Haven Biggs, Kareem Burke, and Dame Dash one by one, stealing their identities, lives, and chances to succeed. Perhaps this is a coincidence, or perhaps this clip was only the beginning, but if what we just discussed isn't unsettling enough, let's return to one of the most serious accusations ever made against Daisy and Dee, the refiled 2024 civil lawsuit. Yes, the one that claims both of them raped a 13-year-old girl in 2000 at an after-party after the MTV Video Music Awards. Because that moment rocked the entire industry. According to court documents, the victim, Jane Doe, claims she was dropped off outside a Radio City music hall with the intention of entering the BMAS when she was approached by a limo driver posing as Diddy's employee. The driver allegedly informed her that Diddy prefers younger girls and that you fit their requirements. She was led to a big white mansion, given a drink, and then she woke up in a bedroom with Jay-Z, Diddy, and a famous woman. Jay-Z took off her clothes, held her down, and raped her while everyone watched. Diddy then tried to force her to have oral sex, but she hit him and fled. The lawsuit was undoubtedly dropped months later, but the silence surrounding it actually caused people to ask even more questions, such as why it was dropped, whether there was a payout, whether someone was under pressure, and why it was buried again. This is because, as you may recall, Busby claimed that Jay-Z had attempted to silence his clients, so allegedly this is something he's used to doing well. Jay-Z's team issued a strong denial accusing the victims. These accusations are so heinous in nature that I implore you to file a criminal complaint, not a civil one. Whoever would commit such a crime against a minor should be locked away. Would you not agree? Wrote Tony Busby, the lawyer for shameless profiting. However, that response didn't assist at all. On the contrary, it made the situation worse. Eyebrows? Ask yourself how many of these horrible but unsubstantiated claims must be made before something sticks. And then 50 Cent, who enjoys trolling. The industry posted a carousel of old photos of Jay-Z and Diddy cuddling over the years, starting with the 1980 bill from his classic Just the Two of Us. Then 50 Cent dropped a bomb, and you were still there, Jay. He's referring to the lawsuit in which Cassie disclosed that Diddy was so upset about her dating K. Cudi that he allegedly said, "I'm going to blow that ninja's car up." His caption, "Friends to the end. Jay, are you still there?" plays in the background. We blew up Kid Kai's car to show him who's the boss, and people lost their ever-loving minds why. Additionally, at that point, Kui's car exploded in his driveway, but Cudi confirmed it on the stand. 50 is implying that Jay-Z knew her and may have even assisted in covering it up. Let's not pretend that 50 Cent just said anything for the sake of influence. He has deep connections in the industry and was the first to reveal that Diddy was the subject of a federal investigation months before CNN verified it. So in this message, he asks, "Jay, are you still there? It's not a joke, it's a warning." Jay may have remained silent when the Cassie lawsuit was dropped, but now that the federal heat is building, the walls are closing in, the freak-off witnesses are naming names, and there's this hypothesis that might be a reach. Please share your thoughts in the comments section. The comment that has been circulating on Reddit and TikTok for years is suddenly gaining a lot of attention. People think that Jay-Z destroyed Chris Brown's entire career. Let's go back to that fateful night in 2009 when Chris Brown attacked Rihanna, which led to her being completely blacklisted. This is where things get crazy though, as some rumors claim that Rihanna had a sexual relationship with Jay-Z at the time, which led to the violent altercation with Chris Brown. However, even more unsettling insiders claimed that Rihanna had given Chris an STD, and Jay-Z used the fallout to blacklist him, control the narrative, and mold the world's perception of Chris Brown for all time. Rumor has it that Jay-Z covered up the story when it didn't suit his plans. Super Bowl producer Jesse Collins confirmed that Jay-Z has the last say on who headlines the halftime show. He always chooses the right person, so if Jay-Z doesn't fight with you, you won't be performing. And it's a coincidence that Chris Brown hasn't seen a Grammy performance in over 10 years. Meanwhile, Dr. Dre, who has a long history of violence against women, got a Lifetime Grammy Award in his own category, so why is Jay-Z blocking him? Fans seem to believe that the entire industry will welcome him back if Jay-Z gives Chris Brown his blessing. But will he realize that Diddy's entire empire is collapsing? Let's return to the Manzaro lawsuit, noting that J and B were allegedly seated and watching everything happen. But to be fair, Jay-Z's lawyer, the fact that Gloria Estefan, the owner of the mansion, allegedly told her husband to call an ambulance when she saw Manzaro's condition makes it even more unsettling. Alex Spiro denied that Jay-Z was even there, but that doesn't mean that people believe it, because what if this is true? It's not just a PR crisis. It's complicity and some of the darkest alleged abuse the industry has ever seen. According to the documents, they ushered her away and shut her down. The entire situation seemed like a ritual gone bad. J and B's names were discreetly deleted from a lawsuit once more. According to Manzaro, they weren't even present. Therefore, the true query is Jay-Z's name keeps vanishing from court records. So what type of power does he possess? Let's examine Katt Williams' theory in more detail. During his live stream after the Manzaro accusations, Katt Williams apparently claimed that Jay-Z is an industry leader, which led to everyone labeling him a modern-day prophet. Katt Williams suggests that Jay-Z is the caretaker who cleans up the mess until it becomes too large and then burns the house down with the occupants. Does more than simply shield Diddy. He controls the story and chooses who is revealed, who is canceled, and who is shielded. Additionally, if Jay-Z needed to level up, someone nearby inexplicably got kept out, leaving others to wonder whether Diddy and the Illuminati are involved. Jay-Z hasn't responded to any of it. Not even 50 Cent shade, not a lawsuit, not a video, not the Manzaro story. But it seems like his PR crew is keeping quiet. Come on, Jaguar. She talks about business secrets, and you should pay attention to what she has to say, because she has been criticizing the music company for years, and she didn't hold back when she recently took aim at Jay-Z, saying that Jay-Z is putting Diddy up, Jay is worse, and Jay-Z is putting Diddy up. Jay hides behind a suit and a grin, and Diddy is the devil in disguise. Let her tell it, she says, since Diddy has wickedness on his sleeve. Says Jay-Z planned D's demise in order to draw attention away from himself and prevent the press from examining his own earlier, particularly around the years 2000-2022 as well. As more current occurrences, she additionally dropped a bomb while performing live. Interview 1324. 14003 Jay-Z is attempting to portray himself as a clean king and a mogul above the drama, but in reality, he is just as active, if not more, behind the scenes. He doesn't even manage his own home, and he can't control Beyoncé, but he wants to control everyone else in the gang, according to her. When Killer Mike won 3 Grammys in one night, Best Rap Album, Best Rap Song, and Best Rap Performance, it was a big occasion for him. However, minutes after leaving the stage, the LAPD detained him inside the arena, and guess who was the culprit? Jay-Z was backstage when it happened. Now, he's not claiming that Jay phoned the police, but the timing is a touch odd, and she's not the only one. People on Twitter claim that Jay's presence at that same moment, along with his history of supporting law enforcement-friendly companies like the NFL. It isn't a surprise that Jay-Z is the new face of power for many people. He acts as though he empowers, but in reality, he polices. Jay didn't say anything again. He simply grinned and left for home. You may recall when Jay-Z joined the NFL shortly after publicly declining that Super Bowl and suggesting that the NFL needed him. Jay surprised a lot of people by taking on a prominent position as the league's head of entertainment strategy at a time when the NFL was being closely watched after the Colin Kaepernick protest. This move caused a rift in the culture, with some people saying he's making change from the inside. People in the industry think Jay-Z is the new gatekeeper and that he's not uplifting the next generation, but rather regulating them. And it wouldn't be fair if some said he's simply a corporate puppet in a designer suit and Jake gets to choose who shines and who doesn't. A thorough analysis without delving into Jay-Z's fixation with symbols, particularly the notorious Rock Nation triangle. Now, I'm not here to promote any Illuminati ideas for the sake of hits, but the fans have been wondering what the hand sign means for years due to all these lawsuits and freakouts. If you don't believe in conspiracy theories, you may be blind. But if you start behaving like these dots, Jay-Z, Diddy, and Epstein circle these NDAs, the silent settlements the celebrities make it private, then people are looking at this stuff very differently. Even Beyoncé's images are mentioned in these discussions, and people point out the symbolism in her Blackest King project, where she is constantly depicted sitting on a throne with horned lighting and ritualistic themes, but this is where the $1 million is. Soon as the Cassie lawsuit was filed, Jay-Z disappeared without saying a word, commenting or denying anything, but his name kept appearing in the witness statements. Bonsaro saw him at the freak-off, and Doe claims that Jay-Z assaulted her alongside 50 Cent responds, "Jay, are you still there?" when Diddy 2000 Katt Williams releases this leaked witness intimidation video. With a laughing emoji, so once more, why hasn't Jay-Z been charged yet? According to some insiders, he has agreements in place and cut off Diddy behind the scenes, over dirt to defend Rock Nation, and is now collaborating in silence. What happens to all the lawsuits related to Jay? They all mysteriously vanish, including the Jane Doe underage rape case, the 2000 VMA party accusations, and Momo's team stops talking after Gloria Estefan allegedly became involved. Jay-Z is either the luckiest man alive or the most protected man alive, and if this leak clip is real, he's not just protected. It appears as though he might be in control. Now listen, we're not saying that he's guilty, but we are. Is Jay-Z Diddy's fixer or the true mastermind behind this freak-off empire? Has this breakdown opened your eyes? Too many people are telling the same story, and if the video that Kev teased is real, it will only be a matter of time before the feds start knocking on his door as well. Since you already know that this rabbit hole deepens and that there will be more receipts in the future, you should feel free to like, comment, and subscribe.